Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about 10 different ways to make money as an artist. In the background today you'll see me working on 2 small watercolour commissions, so I hope you enjoy seeing those come together. Let's jump straight into this with the first way, which is to sell your original art. This is the most obvious method and by far the most time consuming method to create an income, as it can often take days, sometimes even weeks and months to create something that we're happy to call complete, or as close to complete as we can get, let alone something that we can sell. So it's a very time intensive method and it's not always easy to sell your originals after completion either, because in an ideal world we'd finish a piece of work, have a buyer all lined up and sell for thousands, and I'm sure that many of you have come to realise that that just isn't the case. This is actually something that I want to go into further detail on in a future video though, so more on that in another video. But selling your original work is one of the main ways to generate revenue for your business. It's pretty self-explanatory here. Second on my list is commissions, and this is similar to selling original work as it's creating an original piece, but instead of having to find a buyer, you've already got one lined up who's given you this project to complete. Commissions are a really great way to start a business, but again, this is also a very time-intensive income stream, and it can be difficult to make an extremely profitable business from just this income stream alone. And commissions don't give you as much creative freedom as creating a personal piece, as you have to kind of please and adapt to your client, which can be tricky for a lot of people. I personally love commission work. I think it's really rewarding seeing and hearing people's expressions when you show them a finished piece. Nothing really beats it. That feeling is just, it's amazing. But for some people, clients can be tricky, and there's often many things as well that you have to kind of add or remove and alter for a client in order for them to be happy and in order for them to pay you your required amount for that commission piece. But commissions are a really good way to make money, and that's actually how I started my business. The third way is to create prints and cards of your original work to sell, and you can often do this for commission work as well if you have permission from your client to do so. And this is often a whole lot easier than trying to sell an original, because you can offer these types of items at a much lower price, which appeals to a lot more people. With prints, you can opt to create these yourself with a printer at home. You can scan and colour match, and you can oversee the whole process to make sure your prints match the original, all of that stuff. Or you can outsource and have someone do that for you, which can save you a bit of a headache, but of course it will eat into your profits because you're going to have to pay somebody to deliver that service for you. Prints also have the option of being open or limited edition. Limited edition prints often sell for a lot more, but once you've reached that edition size, that's it. It's then time to make prints of a different artwork, whereas open edition allows you to create unlimited numbers, but you can expect to sell these for a much lower price due to them being hugely available. With cards, you can also print in the same way as I mentioned with the prints. However, I find it so much easier to get them printed elsewhere by outsourcing and then just kind of handle the assembly myself, as it doesn't really matter too much about colour matching or anything when you're printing a card as opposed to a print. But both of these ways are a great way to add additional income to your business, and you don't have to have a huge time investment on these either. Obviously you've got the huge time investment of creating the original art, but then by having the addition of prints and cards, you don't have to invest time into drawing each print or drawing each card. Number 4 is merch, and this kind of leads on from number 3, as you can get online stores like Redbubble. We all know Redbubble, right? You can get them to handle prints, cards, and a whole load of other merchandise for you. So you can get tea towels, you can get phone cases, you can get cushions, you can get everything on there. I'm sure you've been on there and seen, which means even less time investment, and you don't have to handle postage, support emails, talking to customers, that kind of thing. Redbubble will do all of that for you. But this does come at a cost, because Redbubble and stores similar will actually take a percentage of each sale in return for them handling everything, which I'm sure you can understand. One of the main advantages, however, is that you can offer that wide range of products with your art on, and you don't have to splash out on having the stock yourself. So usually when you stock a product, say cushions, you have to buy a certain number in bulk, and then you have to try and sell that certain number, usually in order to make a tidy profit. With something like Redbubble, they have all of the stock and they can print on demand at any number, and you're not stuck absorbing the costs of having stock that you can't shift. So that's the main advantage of using something like Redbubble, but you won't earn as much as doing it yourself. The fifth way to make money is by having an online shop on a platform like Etsy. With these platforms, you do have to have your own stock and supplies, but being a part of a site such as this is the fact that it already has an existing customer base and actively has people searching, so you don't have to do as much advertising and marketing and finding an audience as you would on your own site or your own social media platforms. And there's not only Etsy, but there's also platforms like Folkestone and Amazon Handmade, which would serve you just as well, but they have a huge customer base, so many people searching every single day, every minute of the day, and it's just going to take a lot more work from you, so you don't have to do that marketing. Of course, with these platforms as well, because they do have that already identified customer base, they do take a small percentage, but not as much as a place like Redbubble. Number 6 is creating tutorials and courses. This is my absolute favourite one, as you probably would have guessed, and one which I find the most profitable, as it's really easy to do. If you've got a set of skills that you think would benefit people, make some tutorials. They don't have to be like in video format either. You can create a digital download sheet, just like a little informational sheet. You can create an ebook, and you can use sites like Patreon and Skillshare, or even make your own site like I have, and you can upload your content and then you can share it across your socials to your followers. And yeah, it's a really good way to generate an income. Selling your skills is a great way to make an income, as there's never a shortage of people wanting to learn. Everybody's learning all the time, and everybody always wants to learn something. For instance, crochet. Like, I like to crochet. I want to learn how to crochet. Where am I going to go? Skillshare. Simple. This is actually also a type of evergreen content as well, which means that you can make it and it will stay relevant to people for a long time. So once a tutorial is created, or whatever you're going to try and sell your skills as, you then don't have to invest any more time into it. So it's kind of a form of passive income, but it's not completely passive, as you still have that initial effort and time investment. But once it's created, you upload it, and it's searchable and relevant for as long as it exists. Number 7 is using things like affiliate links and having sponsors and brand deals. I'm sure you've seen like every YouTuber and Instagram ever available do this at some point or another. I do this, and it's a really easy way to make some money. The income generated from affiliates, though, that's not very high. It's usually about 4 or 5% commission from each sale that you kind of deliver. So unless you have a huge audience who is constantly buying all the time, using your links, I wouldn't expect this to be like a really lucrative hole to go down. But sponsorships and brand deals can earn you a nice figure, and you can often get free art supplies as well. And it's always a good idea to reach out to your favourite brands and ask them to potentially sponsor a post or a video or whatever you are making, or maybe even just to send you something for you to try and to show to your audience. Usually when you do that, they will give you like an affiliate link or a discount code for your followers to use as well, which is also nice. And also, the bigger your audience, the more a brand or a sponsor is actually likely to pay. So in this case, it really does pay to grow and invest time into your audience with this one. The 8th way to make some money is by Twitch or other live streaming platforms. I personally love this one as well because it allows you to really connect and to get to know your audience, and in return they can then choose to support you via subscriptions or donations, or even you can use live streaming as a way to drive traffic to your online store. So if you have Etsy, you can use that to drive people there. Like if you want to help me, go and shop on my Etsy shop, buy a card for your friend, that kind of thing. It's a really nice one, but like with the previous point, a large audience often helps and it will generate you more income, but you can actually earn a nice little amount even with a small audience with this method. You just have to kind of be a little bit confident and actually ask people. I know a lot of people don't actually like that, but it is a really good way, and often people do actually like to support their favourite creators and artists. Number 9 is galleries, and you may have heard people going on about this method before, and some people say that this is the only proper way to make an income from your art. Galleries are a really good way to get your name out there and to get eyes in front of your work, and they also actively promote and push the sale of your art to their patrons, which means that you don't have to spend the time doing that. Absolutely great, especially if you're not business minded or you don't really have enough time to do the art and do the business side. But in return, galleries do take a commission, and this can be pretty hefty, with some cases being like almost 50% of a sale, which isn't ideal, but then they do the promoting, so there's swings and roundabouts with this one. But galleries are a nice way to also display your work. You can get a bunch of people seeing your work, seeing your name and recognizing your talent, so there's always that. Lastly, the final one here is to use crowdfunding sites to fund your projects and to get your business going. So Kickstarter is a really popular one, and it's a really great idea if you're stuck for cash to invest into products. And it also gives you customers to send those products to. So some people do actually look down on crowdfunding sites and projects. They kind of see it as begging, but they really shouldn't, because it's a great way to actually start your business. Kind of think of it almost like a business loan, or that you're like on Dragon's Den or something, and these fans and customers are investing into you and your products. It's a really great way to get to know your customers as well, because you can send messages and you can update them on the progress of everything. And you can use crowdfunding to source like opening your Etsy shop. So you can use the Kickstarter campaign to, I don't know, make some cards to get enough money together so that you can print some cards so that you can start your Etsy shop. It's a really good way to start your business, so look into that one. We have covered all 10 ways to make money as an artist, and I would highly suggest picking like 3 or 4 of these different revenue streams to try and kind of diversify your income. Picking just one and sticking to it isn't really a solid business plan. So if you plan to just sell your original art, you're going to find that incredibly difficult to make a really profitable business and to also grow your business that way. You would need to pick, I would say, at least 3 of these different methods to try and diversify that income. So a really good one is to have original art, commissions, and then prints and cards of both originals and commissions. That's a really good solid plan. But also, of course, creating tutorials, including that into your kind of sales business plan is a good idea than just picking just one of them. I really want to cover more art business topics like this, and I know a lot of you guys are interested in this too, so make sure you leave me a comment down below of things you'd like me to discuss. Maybe you'd like me to go into more detail about one of these revenue streams. I know I am going to go into more detail on the first one, original art, and possibly even commissions as well, but let me know in the comments what you would like to see. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. We're now on our way to hit 20k and I'm so excited, and I would really love to have you along for the journey, you beautiful bean, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.